Okay, so I'm a programming nerd. I like debugging stuff. Okay, because I hate bugs, and we got to get rid of them bugs. I have this actor here called Breakpoint Test, and I'm going to add a couple of breakpoints. So if either of these functions get hit, it's going to call a breakpoint. As you can see, the branch was false, and so it gets stuck on this print string, and it pauses the game. So we can go back here and we hit resume, and the game will go back to normal. This is a great way to figure out, is my code calling? Is the function working? So you may be spending hours like trying to figure out if the thing works, but maybe the code's not even getting called. So breakpoints are your friends. Now, I found, while doing this tutorial, a really useful thing that I wish I'd known about before, and that is the Breakpoint Debugger. Now, if we press play, with the Breakpoint Debugger opened, and we click on this actor, we'll see that we're getting a breakpoint right here on print string. What's cool about this right here is we can see all the functions, all the nodes that got called up to this point. And if it doesn't show, just right click anywhere up in here, click call stack, and you can see that my functions, what functions were called to get to this point. So starting the event graph, after a delay, be it calling function 1, which we see right here, and inside of that, it calls function 2, and function 2 calls function 3. So that's just the flow of it. And this is a really ridiculous example, but it can be really helpful if you're in a complicated set of code. If for some reason some code's being called when you don't want it to be called, you'd be like, well, where did that come from? So that's great. Another thing is, you have the execution flow, which shows you the nodes that got you to that point, which is a little bit dense, and the call stack is a little bit easier to parse visually, but if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty, you can do that here. Next is watching variables. That's a pretty handy one. So if you were to right-click on watch this variable, and we press play, if we look, when the breakpoint is hit, we can see that this value is at 0.2. Okay, and you can watch just about any variable, and you can see what's going on. And if you go over in here into the Breakpoint Debugger and make sure watches is selected, you can see the actual, and it's shown inside this window. And I really love this, and I'm so glad I found it. Hopefully it helps you find any issues in your code, and yeah, it's pretty cool.